Bullet Club.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time with us. This is Leanne Presents. What?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to our friends that are hopefully on the other side of the screen right
Oh.
now. Hopefully.
We have friends?
Maybe. Hi. Let's pretend we do and see what happens.
I've been so happy in my life I have friends.
So we are back with our reactions to WWE's latest premium live event, Elimination Chamber.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Yes, that's what we're doing. It took place on the 1st of March in Toronto. So we're watching this on the 2nd because it happens late at night.
I mean, in UK time, it would have been the 2nd when you think about it.
Yeah. But that's not what it says on the posters.
No, I know.
Anyways, if you haven't seen these before and don't know what a reaction video entails, this is going to be spoiler heavy. So if you're planning to watch Elimination Chamber and haven't yet, we'd recommend you see that first and then come back. We also have our predictions up, which I'll put a link on somewhere on the screen too, where we sort of did the run up to it, and we're here with our reactions now after watching it. There you go. Let's get straight into it.
Mm-hmm.
So we open with the usual kind of stars walking in business. Kevin Owens is looking for weapons and picking up some things to
Even have a couple of spanners put into his backpack.
Yeah, testing them by banging them on the wall to see if they're hard enough, I guess. Yeah, that's quite fun. And then they have their usual introduction video package that's very focused on social media views.
Yes, YouTube
weird.
view specifically, I think.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it's like, oh, okay, cool. Validation, you know. But then we go straight into our first match, which is the Women's Elimination Chamber match. And it was actually really good.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed this match. We start, well, Naomi and Liv start. We got the other 4 women in the pods.
Yeah. So I think Naomi came out last?
Yes, I believe so. But after the bell rings, Jade Cargill's music hits, which is great. So we were already excited at this point. Liv Morgan's kind of begging to not get attacked, saying it wasn't me, but Jade goes to Naomi, attacks Naomi instead. So
Called it.
We called it.
I called it. I called this months ago.
Yep. So Naomi, you could see she was looking nervous when Jade's music hit, but no, it was a brutal attack. You've got Bianca Belair in the pod
Having
just
a meltdown.
meltdown in hysterics. But then the attack happens and Jade walks calmly away, and Naomi is unable to compete and is eliminated by default, which is great.
They should have put Jade in the chamber instead.
Yeah, they probably should, but there we go. And really, like, great timing, because as soon as they say she's not able to compete, the 15-second countdown starts for the next person. So that's really
wow,
handy.
that's a coincidence.
And then Bianca Belair is next. Immediately tries to get out of the cage to go and see what's going on, but Liv attacks her. And then we've got Bianca sort of clearly distracted and not in the right mental place for the match, but she still holds her own a bit and is in it. So that's great. Yeah, Roxanne Perez is the next to enter. And she has a great showing. She's got such
to be
potential.
fair, yeah. I've not seen much of her stuff in NXT, but yeah, I can see that she's going to go far.
Definitely. And then Bayley. And when Bayley's sort of entering, Roxanne is waiting for her right by the door of the pod, but then Bayley attacks Roxanne and like attacks her in the pod, which definitely backfires. And then Alexa Bliss is the last to enter. So we've got all, I guess, five women in the match without being eliminated. So it goes a bit crazy. We get loads of stuff going on. One thing I noted was there's a moment where Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan are on top of a pod, and Liv Morgan sort of gets chased onto the cage a little bit, and then Bianca Belair whips her with her hair.
That's before she gets chased on the cage.
She was like half hanging onto the cage when it happened.
I thought she was kind of pulling on the hair, and Bianca pulls it off and just cracks her with it, and then she retreats to the cage.
Pretty sure she was hanging off the cage, at least had one hand on the cage at this point. I might be wrong. It was at the start of the show, and it was 3.5 hours long. So.
3.5 hours for 4 matches.
Yeah, it's long. But the thing that got me was the sound effect attached to the whip, which it sounds like a proper whip crack. And that happens at like hundreds of miles an hour, kind of.
Like you cheering Indiana Jones, like
yes, which literally happens when the sound barrier is broken, which I'm pretty sure you can't do with hair going.
I'm wondering if they're supposed to symbolize just the smacking of the hair against it, but again,
that's not what hair on skin sounds like. I don't know, but then Liv's got this massive like welt across where the hair's sort of cut her, I suppose. But then I'm thinking, is that even
grazed? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like,
sort of bleeding,
she caught her on the
red.
back around to this side, but the welt, from what I saw, was coming from this side.
Oh, it's hard to tell, but
I know.
I can't imagine that it was it.
And I've done that, realizing the camera can't actually see what I'm doing.
It's down there somewhere, on the stomach. But I don't know, because I can't think of how they would have manufactured that welt without it bleeding, without cutting. So maybe, but I just never imagined hair would do that amount of damage. When they did the replay a couple of times, and the motion Bianca makes doesn't feel like there would be a lot of force behind it.
It's possible, I guess, that they might have some sort of coarseness to it. Maybe they've plaited it and coursed it up somehow to be able to rake against the skin in that sense.
It looked really effective, but it did sort of feel like it took me out of it a bit because I don't know if it's real. But that's okay. So we get down to Liv, Bianca, and Alexa Bliss as the final three. And then Liv eliminates Alexa Bliss, but while pulling on Bianca's hair for leverage. In that moment, the air got sucked out a little bit for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was such a good match. It was so dynamic, loads happening, and then getting down to the final two, it just becomes a regular match. So it's probably just the nature of it.
Sort of up to this point, your favourite didn't even make it into the match, your prediction, and my one just got eliminated.
Yeah, so it was like...
But my one who I did say I thought was going to win it is still currently in this match. Now, the problem for me is I don't want to see Bianca Belair headlining another WrestleMania, but I also don't want to see Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for like the 15th time this year.
So it's tough.
It's a lose-lose situation at this point. And that's not to say I don't like Liv. I think Liv's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
But I really don't want to see it again.
Yeah, exactly.
We're only in the very beginning of March, and we've seen that match. Like, it's not 15 times. It's probably like 3 or 4.
It feels like 15.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. There was a fun moment, something that actually felt quite new. Was you had Bianca outside the ropes and Liv on the inside, and Liv had Bianca's hair and was pulling her into the ropes and then launching her into the
I think she was also kind of kicking or pushing at the same time to try and get extra.
Just like bouncing back and forth. That looked really effective. And it's
did,
like a new way to use the hair.
But I think they did it a bit too long and it became a bit comedic.
It was funny.
It was like, oh, okay, this is great. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, great. 5, 6, 7. Okay, can we stop this now?
But it was good to see something a bit different. Happening, which is good. But in the end, Bianca hits a KOD on Liv and pins her to win. I really did enjoy this match. It's when it got to the final two, it was like, okay.
Like, it was, I got the same. I thought it was a really good match in that sense. When it got to the end, even like the sort of the back and forth, Oblivion into Kiss of Death, into KOD, into Oblivion, and they kept countering each other's moves and code breakers and all this kind of, and it was really cool to see the countering. But as soon as the 3 went down for BL, I was like, oh yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. This is going to be terrible.
And
Bianca Belair again in the main event. Yawn. It's just like Charlotte Flair. Bianca Belair is the new Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, it feels like
they rest their morals on the same person all the time.
The golden girl.
Yeah.
But it's always, I never feel like, I never know if it's real or if it's imagined, that if the air's sucked out for me, it feels like the crowd goes a bit more dead. And I don't know if it's because it's happening or because I'm not feeling it, the crowd reaction feels different to me.
Yeah,
you know?
I know what you mean. I don't actually remember what the crowd was like when that pinfall happened.
I think they were okay. I've also put it's a shame the Wyatt Six didn't get involved. There wasn't any sort of that kind of. There weren't any flashes on the screen or. The most was when Alexa Bliss's light came up that she was next. The lights in her pod went off, and they did that sound effect, the like breaker sound effect, which is pretty cool. But it didn't. because all the other lights were still on, it didn't have the same effect. But it was
you
something.
could see it was discernibly darker, but
yeah.
I just want to point out that Liv Morgan was definitely MVP of this match.
Oh yeah,
she did the most. She is the most experienced Elimination Chamber matches. She did great.
Definitely. And I think it's been like that for most the other Elimination Chambers she's been in as well.
She's not afraid to throw herself into the more hardcore-ish aspect of it. It's
always her getting on top of the pods and climbing the cage and everything. So after the match, there is a face-off at the top of the ramp between Bianca, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. So it's going to be Bianca versus either Rhea or Io.
We're facing each other at Raw Monday night for the title.
Yeah, so we'll find out on Monday. So yeah, okay. Filler? Let's have some filler. There's a TurboTax ad with Tiffany Stratton. Okay. An ad for WWE World in Las Vegas, which is happening around WrestleMania season. A trailer for Novocaine, which is a film that is on the center of the mat for this event. An ad for WWE 2K25. An ad for WWE Evolve or Evolve. Then a showcase of this immersive experience watching the premium live events. I think it was Cosm or something
like that. I tuned out at that point.
But at least for this one, because in a previous one they like showed the reaction of the crowd to something that happened and the crowd was dead.
Yeah.
But this one
they're going nuts.
This time they had an actual reaction, so that was good. And then they showed
They showed Jade. I think it was the clip when Jade was coming down.
And there was
beating
definitely
the hell out of Naomi.
And then they showed some famous person in the crowd who I don't care about. So I didn't write down their name.
Is that the guy from Spider-Man?
I don't know. I thought it was a sports guy.
Oh, no, the guy with the balls in his hair.
No, he was later.
Oh.
They showed a lot of celebrities in this one.
God, I zoned out really hard during this moment, didn't I?
Probably. Okay, next match. This is Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LaRae.
Trish Stratus. I'm Sean Connery.
Easy for you to say.
I'm Sean Connery.
So a good old tag team match. One thing I don't think I'd clocked before that they mentioned when Trish was entering is it's her 25th anniversary in WWE, which I suppose is another reason why they decided to put her in the match.
She had the Royal Rumble. That was the 25th anniversary. There we go.
But it was today, I think, or I don't know, this year something. So that's why she's more present, I suppose.
Meh.
I literally didn't write much for this. I put meh. There's nothing special, and the crowd not imagined. Definitely flat this crowd was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was P-break match all over it.
It could have happened on a Raw or SmackDown easy.
This match did not need to happen on a PLE.
It didn't need to happen.
It didn't need to happen. Full stop.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys can wrestle.
Well, 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, pretty much. So I've literally just gone straight to the finisher. Is there anything that you want to say to pad this out? No.
Nope.
We don't do filler.
Unlike WWE.
So we'll get straight to it. The finish. Tiffany hits the prettiest moonsault ever on Nia Jax and pins her for a win for, what did I say, the time...
Time Baronesses.
The Time Baronesses.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible name, but it's the only one I've got for them.
Yeah. We both predicted that to win, them to win.
Yeah.
And they won.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we both predicted that to be not a great match.
The worst match of the night, yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's already tracking at this point.
At this point, 2 matches down.
2 to go.
Well, oh, but first,
filler.
There's an ad for Superstar Sunday, an ad for WWE Shop, an ad for Topps Superstar cards. I don't know, trading cards.
Yeah, this stupid.
An ad for the TKO Takeover in Western Australia. So that's like WWE events and UFC events. Sounds fun. More famous people. A thanks to Poppy for the music for Elimination Chamber. They then show the men's Elimination Chamber entrance backstage, looking very stoic and warming themselves up. And then there's a segment about The Rock. And the attendance record of 38,493, which they sounded so impressed by. And I'm like, at this point, it's just numbers. That's quite a lot. Next.
Yep.
The next match is the unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Oh, so the officially unofficial match.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's not official. It's unsanctioned.
Gotcha.
Right.
I'm going to try and see if I can work out the percentage of this now because this is going to bug me.
Okay. So while you're doing that, Yeah, I mean, it was an unsanctioned match. There were an awful lot of chairs and a few tables involved. There was a moment where Kevin Owens goes to hit Sami Zayn with a chair, but Sami ducks out the way, so the chair hits the ropes and hits Kevin Owens back in the face. And it looked pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it was on purpose, but it looked pretty good. Then we have a ref bump. There's a ref bump, and then Kevin pins Sami, but Sami kicks out, so Kevin attacks the backup ref, and then another backup ref comes out. We get through a lot of refs in this match.
We do, yeah.
A barbed wire chair. Which
Wow.
Kevin Owens takes to the back, and then he gets thrown face first into it. There's no blood, not a single drop of blood. So it can't be real barbed wire, because he took that right in the face.
Right in the face. And
he was holding his face, clutching his face and saying, my eye, and then put his hands away, and he just like...
I mean, Rey Mysterio had the worst injury with the eyes going back years ago, right?
Oh, that was so weird, the popping eye thing. Ugh. So yeah, it was fine. I mean... It was a good match. It wasn't a bad match at all.
It was alright.
What got me and what brought it down in how I felt about it was the promise of having the most extreme and violent match for years in WWE history. And then the moment someone gets hit in the face with a barbed wire chair and doesn't bleed, I can't bring back my suspension of disbelief from that.
Exactly.
There is no way that would happen with barbed wire and he would not get a little bit of blood.
There was more blood in the women's chamber match than there was in this match.
There was. And
because
also,
of Liv's back.
We mentioned the tools Kevin Owens was collecting.
Yes.
Not a single one.
Where were they, Kev?
I mean,
seriously, mate.
Barbed wire chair was the most weapony thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
And there was a hockey stick because it's Canada, and you can't have a premium live event in Canada without a hockey stick being involved. But that was it. And it's like, I don't know. And the commentators got on my nerves as well by hyping up moves that are done in normal matches and saying that they're so extreme, they're gonna hurt each other, blah, blah, blah. But they do that every week.
Wasn't it
they do pop-up power bombs all the time.
Then I think Sami Zayn had a suplex on the chair or something, and oh my god, Kevin Owens, he must be dead.
What? This happens in a regular, in a no holds barred match all the time.
Yeah.
They did go out to the crowd and they did throw each other through some tables that were full of snacks and stuff. And there was a bin. They were walking through the crowd, and there's this you can see a lot of normal looking bins, and then one steel trash can. And the commentators, Pat McAfee,
surprise!
There's a trash can there. It's in a spotlight. I wonder what's going to happen. It's don't draw attention.
I bet you got chewed out for that.
Why would you draw attention to the fact that there is a light pointed at this bin? So it really wound me up.
You know what else really wound me up, and not just with this match in general, but the whole card in general. Full screen recap replays.
Yes, we want to be watching what's happening in the ring at the time. What's wrong with the picture?
Tell me there's going to be loads of downtime planned without telling me there's loads of downtime planned.
Yeah, it's pretty
by
bad.
Showing 7 moves back to back in a full screen replay,
and in a bit of a weird order.
Yeah,
it was definitely going back in time and then forward in time. I don't know. It was a bit weird. So yeah, I mean, if this wasn't billed as unsanctioned, extreme, and violent, this would have been a great anything goes match.
Just call it a street fight. Job done.
Yeah, it's fine. It would have been a great street fight, but they built up way too much, and it just fell flat for what they were. As people who watch AEW,
and what I've got is nowhere near unsanctioned status.
No,
you go and watch Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland in that lights out cage match, which is unsanctioned.
Yeah.
That's hardcore. Yeah. That's unsanctioned.
And you can't have an unsanctioned
That
match.
was difficult to watch.
Oh,
this was not.
It was difficult to watch, but not for the right reasons. But the other thing, I got another thing.
God.
Why you have an unsanctioned match? Fair enough, 3 referees get involved because they keep dropping like flies. Yeah. But then you've got...
I mean, Kevin Owens took that Charles Robinson's head clean off, maybe.
That was great.
Jesus.
But you've got all of the officials then
Officials.
coming out and trying to stop them and saying, like, you've gone too far. You've got to stop this. You've done enough damage.
Unsanctioned, guys.
It's unsanctioned. Either you're going to get involved or you're not going to get involved. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know.
Stop. Yeah, you got to play, was it Switzerland?
Yeah.
You've got to be Switzerland. You've got to be neutral.
If you're not taking any responsibility for what happens, wash your hands of it and just let it go. Whatever happens, happens. They've agreed to this. It's on their heads. They don't even have any blood. We want blood.
Legit, when Kevin Owens slammed into that barbed wire chair, I thought, oh, we're going to get blood. We're going to get blood. We're going to get blood. And he's there, and he's holding it, and he's screaming. And I'm like, there's got to be blood. There's not even a red mark.
Considering the first ref is already wearing gloves, and then the extra refs come out, and they don't put gloves on, because there's not going to be any blood. So yeah, anyway, Kevin Owens hit Sami with a couple of power bombs on the apron, which are apparently so extreme, and then pins Sami to win. So Kevin Owens wins.
Yeah, surprised by that. I honestly thought Sami was going to go over. Mm-hmm. I'm happy about it because I did say in the predictions I want Kevin Owens to win.
Yeah.
So in the predictions we both predicted Sami to win, so we didn't get that right. No, I've got one thing to say about this.
Yeah.
Sami deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the documentary?
We want the documentary.
We want the documentary, Sami. Where is it? You promised us years ago to have this documentary. Uh-huh. Where is it? You deserve everything Kevin Owens did for you, to you, because of this documentary. Yeah. It's not been released.
His promises. He's not kept his promise.
Breaking your promises, Sami. It's not a good look, mate. It's not a good look.
Ooh, let's have a palate cleanser. And by that I mean some more filler. There's an ad for WWE Live
you
events.
missed a bit.
Oh, did I?
You missed a bit.
My bad. Okay. Rewind. So, match is finished. Kevin Owens, sort of on his way out, turns back and exposes the floor, pulls up the padding to expose the concrete. It looks like he drags out Sami.
Yep.
And it looks like he's going to go for a package pile driver on the concrete. Mm-hmm. But then, Randy Orton's music hits.
Kevin Owens just like...
back in the ring. The emotion from Kevin Owens is actually really good at this point. He's back in the ring and he's like screaming, come on then, come at me. And he's like, it looks like he's going to cry because he's like, he's just had such a
that match ran for 27 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah, that's going to weigh.
That's nearly half hour of beating the hell out of Sami Zayn.
Yeah. So in comes Randy, attacks Kevin Owens, goes for the punt kick, but then all of those officials just like spear him at the same time. It's actually
I wouldn't
really
say spear him, they just kind of get in the way and Owens kind of rolls out the ring.
The timing was great, and he did that well, and the camera angle they used, they sort of just appear from nowhere.
Because that punt's been banned for years.
Yeah. So yeah, off he goes, and that's it.
I reckon we're going to see KO on Mania.
Yeah, probably. And we were saying we think Sami's probably taking a break.
Yeah.
Because of how extreme it was.
Maybe he'll finish his documentary.
Maybe. So 1 in, 1 out.
Yep.
I'll exchange Sami Zayn for Randy Orton.
I was going to say, don't you exchange Kevin Owens for nothing?
He can stay. So yeah, not a bad match, but not a good unsanctioned match.
No, not at all.
Okay, now we can get to the filler. Yep. I was so excited to get to the filler. An ad for WWE Live events. An ad for Riyadh season, which includes the crown jewel thing. Yeah. An ad for WrestleMania, which is next month. An ad for the new show that's coming, Stephanie's Place, where she interviews people.
In March somewhere.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think it was.
And more famous people. There were a few this time. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I think this is the one with the Spider-Man actor.
Probably.
There was Robbie Amell, who was Stephen Amell's brother, and his partner as well. I can't remember her name, Italia something.
Oh yeah, they're in stuff.
Yeah, so Robbie Amell is Stephen Amell's brother. Stephen Amell is at Green Arrow.
Yes.
And he's also been in AEW.
Oh, yeah.
And he did WWE stuff as well.
Yeah.
He did WWE stuff as well, teaming up with Stardust. I think that might have been before you were watching.
Yeah, I was. I didn't see Stardust in real life.
No, but he did appear at All Out.
Yes.
All In. The first All In event before it was AEW.
Yeah. All right. It's time for your favorite bit. It's the sign of the PLE. The sign of the PLE.
What the hell? Okay. When did... I didn't see.
One.
I didn't. I didn't see you doing that.
I mean, there were a lot of signs, and I got half
They
glimpses.
were just crap.
I got half glimpses of signs that had potential, but you couldn't see enough, and it was partly
If
because
you're going to write an essay on your sign, make sure you hold it up long enough.
In fairness, it was partly because of the Elimination Chamber structure, which obscures things. So we got one sign,
Still partly your fault.
although technically 2 signs, because it was spread across 2. Sami, I love you, ... but ... Kevin Owens is always right.
Oh, I thought he was going to say, but where's the damn documentary?
That too. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. Everything else
Never
was...
bet against KO.
Yeah, never bet against KO.
Even
so
though he's been losing a lot.
If you are the, I guess, couple of people who had that sign and you're watching, let me know. Put something in the comments or on social media, and I'll send you a little prize for winning the sign of the PLE, the sign of the PLE. Yeah. I'm gonna need something else to put over that S now if we get another good one. But I'm not holding out hope, hence the permanent marker.
You know AEW is still a thing, right? Just pointing that out.
I got more post-it notes.
That thing is going to be more post-it note than sign at this rate.
This is the plan.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
But you know what that means?
It's time for the main event.
Sort of.
Tickle my nose.
I think.
Ah.
So this is the Men's Elimination Chamber. The event we've all been waiting for.
I love the hand movements, but you know that's going to be full screened with the
hand movements were for me.
Okay, just checking.
I'm trying to build up my excitement. All right. So I was out of the room for the entrances, but
you didn't miss anything.
From what I was told, Logan Paul can't pod. He wasn't getting in the pod, and then it seemed like
he stood in the middle of the ring, and he's there, and he's like, and the ref's like, go to the pod, and then he goes into the pod, and then he's talking to the ref outside, and then he gets back out of the pod. And it's like, what the hell is going on right now?
Something weird.
Idiot.
I don't know. I don't think I wrote down the full order of how people came out of the pods, but that's fine. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre start.
Yep.
And Damien Priest is next.
Yeah.
Oh, I have done it.
Yeah.
Then it's Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And then John Cena and CM Punk is last. There we go. I didn't give myself enough credit.
We have like 2 eliminations prior to everyone getting in.
Yes. So there are some stuff in between. That's okay. So the first elimination, I believe, is Drew McIntyre getting eliminated
with a crucifix pin of all things.
Crucifix pin from Damien Priest, completely out of nowhere. I think it was like off another move that someone had done, that Seth had probably done.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know.
I get the feeling they're gonna, if Priest doesn't win this match, then Damien and Drew will have a match Mania.
Probably.
It seems to be building towards
reinforcing that, before Drew leaves the cage, he does Claymore Priest. Just to drive that home.
Yeah.
You're not happy. Yeah, and then I think it was Damien Priest got eliminated next, but I didn't write down how, because it was just...
I think it was Logan Paul hit the frog splash off the top of the cage, off the top of the cell cage, pod. I knew I'd find the right word at some point in my brain.
I think Punk eliminates Logan Paul then, at some point.
Yeah, it was Punk, yeah.
So then we're left with Punk, John Cena, and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And they're all like squaring off, you know, the way that they make a wrestling match not have wrestling in it.
It's like that Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, they look like that. They're just looking at each other, and John Cena was doing this thing because you had half the crowd chanting CM Punk and half chanting.
Was it that, or was it Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks, I think?
I thought it was Let's Go Cena, CM Punk. That's what I was hearing.
Oh, I was hearing Cena sucks.
They are similar.
Yeah.
But then Cena does this thing where he looks...
Yeah, Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks.
Like it's in a tennis match or something.
Really? Come on.
It's like, he's a cartoon character.
Do something already.
He is a cartoon character. But then...
it will not shock you to know that this is the longest match on the card.
No, not at all. And half of it is just looking at each other. But then Punk and Cena gang up on Rollins.
Yeah.
They attack him together, and then they have a hug, and it's a nice moment.
Yeah, Cena offers his hand, CM Punk hugs.
He's like, nah, hug. And it's like, ah, how sweet. And then they go at it. But that's what they're there for, so that's fine.
Yeah, there's a headline spot at WrestleMania at stake. what are you doing?
Just fight.
And I like it again, that Simpsons thing with the stick in it. Do something.
Yeah, it's do something. Just tap on the glass. Eventually, Punk manages to eliminate Seth Rollins, and then Cena and Punk keep fighting. But at this point, I keep noticing the door's still open for some reason.
Yeah.
They usually close the door immediately after someone leaves.
My thought was Logan Paul's going to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's done it the last 2 years.
He screwed people twice. Yeah, last year.
Come out, but no, this time.
Last year he beat up Randy Orton before he got out of the cage.
That's right.
The year before he wasn't in the match.
But Seth is somewhere in the corner, presumably pretending to be injured, because otherwise, in my head, they would have ushered him out. But so he must have been like playing dead a bit. And stomps Punk, and Cena takes advantage.
He stomps Punk onto the steel, the padded
onto
steel.
the edge.
Yeah, because he's hanging out on the ropes.
So I guess onto the apron.
Onto the apron, to the steel with the padding on it comes to that point.
Yes.
It becomes quite flat, so he effectively got stomped on steel.
It's a big stomp.
Yeah.
And then Cena
puts
on a sleeper hold, maybe like STF kind of thing.
STF crossed with
a.
So the STF kind of goes under the chin. But Cena kind of had it like a sleeper.
It's like it's a sleeper thing. And Cena wins because Punk gets sleepy.
He got put to sleep.
He got to sleep. Yay! It wasn't a bad match. There was a lot of dead time.
Yeah, a lot.
And there wasn't anything particularly new or specifically exciting.
Yeah.
So enjoyable, nothing special.
Yeah. Too much downtime in my notes I've got. And I did get nervous towards the end thinking that Punk was going to win it at one point.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! Please don't. It's gonna obviously inevitably lead into Punk versus Seth, or Seth versus Roman after what he did to Roman in the Rumble, and then CM Punk will be like to Heyman, "Here's my favor. I won in that match by a triple threat."
Yeah.
So it'll be Punk versus Seth versus Roman at Mania. Is my thought. Right.
So that's the end.
And obviously, bear in mind that at this particular point in time, none of these matches have been announced. So I am just kind of fantasy booking at this point.
Nothing wrong with that. So that's the end of the main event.
Yep.
But there's more. Because we haven't yet had Cody making his decision on whether to sell his soul or not.
20 minutes of this.
So out Cody comes.
Out Cody comes.
Sounds like a part of a kid's story.
It kind of does, yeah.
Shakes hands with Cena, because obviously they're going to be in WrestleMania together.
Yeah, Cena versus Cody.
It's all very nice. And then Travis Scott comes out.
So the Rock's music hits, out comes Travis Scott.
Music, but Travis Scott, and he's got this can that he's drinking from. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I was like looking at it wrong. It doesn't look like he's actually drinking.
It's like he's nervous drinking, if anything.
Fake drink. He's like,
yeah.
But a lot, so many times, and it just made me laugh so much because it's bizarre. I'd probably watch it again and either realize that I'm being silly and it's actually very normal, or just burst into laughter again because it looks so ridiculous.
What, taking a sip every like 10 seconds?
Every 10 seconds. And I swear that the can wasn't even open. It didn't look like he was really drinking, it looked like fake drinking. It could be wrong, but it made me laugh. And then out comes The Rock.
Yeah.
Not fake drinking. He comes to the ring and then he's telling Cena that he's got to make his choice and what the consequences are of if he decides not to. And then Cody basically says, "I already sold my soul to this business in the crowd." It's like, oh, that's very Cody. It's very, very Cody.
Yeah.
And then not so Cody is he yells at The Rock, "Hey Rock, go F yourself."
Yeah.
Which is great. We love an F-bomb.
Like, wait, what?
Go for it.
So hang on. So they can take hints from AEW in this moment.
Yeah. But
not when the unsanctioned match is... Okay, carry on.
You gotta think about the investors. So that's great. And Cena's like, "Yeah, go for it, Cody. You're great." He's doing it in the background. Cena and Cody hug, and it's a lovely moment. But there's something a bit weird about the way Cena's looking at The Rock. And then The Rock makes the signal.
Yeah.
And Cena low blows Cody.
At this point, you see this going through, and I'm like, oh my God, Cena's the one that's turning. Because I've always said, two-face athletes and a WrestleMania main event does not work.
So you were convinced if Cena won the Elimination Chamber, Cody must accept The Rock because then he'd be heel. But
I wouldn't have thought they would have turned Cena.
Cena, the ultimate face.
All those little kids' hearts just broke.
Oh.
I could hear it cracking around the world.
So,
I was wondering what that noise was. Like 4 o'clock this morning.
So they attack. You get Cena attacking Cody with the Rolex that The Rock gave Cena.
Yes.
Not Cena, gave to Cody.
Cody.
We got attacks with the belts. We got this weight belt that The Rock had with Cody's soul on it. That's used as a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get blood.
So yeah, Cena hits him with the belt,
belt.
And he gets blood. And it sounded like he was actually making contact.
Yeah, that's like rough. It's like, well, you were allowed blood. Why didn't you do blood earlier? Anyway, but it's a great sort of. We were a bit nervous, I think, when we realised that this segment was going to be the end.
Yeah.
I can see why, because they needed to know who won the Elimination Chamber to make it a more impactful decision to make.
Yeah.
But it was because it's like, you have the last match and then there's something else. Is anyone going to stick around? But it was actually maybe the biggest surprise of the night. So it kind of finished the show on that surprise, what's going to happen next moment. So not a bad decision overall.
So I'm kind of keen to see where they go with this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cena turning heel is a good idea.
Yeah.
He hasn't been a heel in many, many, many years.
Mm.
But they need to bring back Dr. Thugonomics John Cena.
Ooh, yes.
It needs to go back to his old school heel character. You can't have the baby face coming out going, "Oh, I'm a heel." Oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. You have to do something different. You have to change it up. He has to go Thugonomics.
Yeah. Got to.
Only way it works.
Cool.
Might keep slipping. It's really annoying.
This is fine. So yeah, that's Elimination Chamber 2025.
So we had exactly 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 20 seconds of filler.
Wait, hang on. It's nearly half?
It's more than half.
It's more than half of it was filler. No.
It's more than half.
Why?
By 5 minutes.
Why would they do this to us? We pay. We got Netflix.
We got Netflix, so
we pay.
But again, going back to the whole thing of like last month's PLE Royal Rumble, 1 hour and 20 minutes of filler, 1 hour and 50 minutes of filler.
They're getting more.
How much filler is WrestleMania gonna have? Considering it's 2 nights.
Dear so much.
God.
Right, overall, not a bad show. There were ups and downs, but they left us on a bit of an up, so we can be happy with that.
Worst match of the night?
Women's tag match.
Absolutely, without the shadow of a doubt.
It just didn't need to be there.
No, it really didn't. It didn't need to happen. It didn't need to be there. Favorite match of the night?
Women's Elimination Chamber.
Absolutely. It was constant. It was always flowing, unlike the men's, which was like a moment. I feel like I'm doing Edge and Christian's 5-second pose. Yeah, that was actually, and obviously Jade coming back and beating the living hell out of Naomi. That was hilarious.
Still a shame they didn't have the White Six stuff, but I guess you gotta save that for another occasion.
I wanted Alexa to win that so bad, and I'm really disappointed with the outcome of Bianca Belair.
Yes.
But it was still the best match.
It just goes to show that you don't have to have the outcome you want to enjoy a match. So yeah, it's good.
Cool. What's next, Leanne?
Next is AEW Revolution.
Yep. Which is
next weekend.
Yep, 9th of March.
Whoop, whoop.
So we'll have our predictions up at some point later this week, probably Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Followed by our reactions
Tuesday
next week.
Probably Tuesday.
It's probably going to be Tuesday.
Thanks for work. Thanks AEW for putting shows on a Sunday night.
Tony Khan, you're breaking my balls, mate. Put the pay-per-views back on a Saturday night.
You've done it before. It works. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and guarantee there won't be anywhere near as much filler for that.
But there'll probably be more blood.
There'll be more matches. More blood. I mean, John Moxley walks into an arena and
him and everyone else starts bleeding.
Yeah.
It's great.
Takes away, Leanne.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you as always. Please like this video if you liked it. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Follow us on socials. Our link tree's in the description below, and I'll take you to Facebook, Instagram, and X. Talk to us on our socials or in the comments below. Let us know what you think is going to happen next with the Jade Cargill story. How is Bianca going to respond when she gets her head together? Yeah, let us know what you think, what your best favourite matches, worst matches, whatever you want to say. We'll have a chat. So I think that's everything. We'll see you for Revolution. And until next time, enjoy wrestling, even if you don't like the outcome. It'll be fun. Bye.
Bullet Club.